Back in 2015, I was in a tough spot. I was working 72-hour weeks, barely getting to see my family, and feeling drained day in and day out. I'd wake up, go to work, come home exhausted, and then do it all over again. But one day I hit a breaking point. I thought, there has to be a better way to live than this. So I started exploring other ways to earn, and I found online business. I didn't know anything about it at first, but I was willing to learn because I was determined to make a change. Fast forward to today, and I'm building a life where I have more time with my family and more control over my schedule. If you're feeling stuck in the same daily grind, just know, you're not alone, and there is another way. Stick around if you want to learn how I did it and maybe find your path to freedom. Visit gettrainedright.com for more information. My journey into online business wasn't all smooth sailing. In fact, I failed. A lot. I'd dive into something thinking it was the answer, only to hit a wall. Every time I learned something new, about business and about myself. It would have been easy to quit, and sometimes I thought about it, but each failure was preparing me, even though I didn't realize it at the time. I kept going because I knew what I wanted. More time for my family, more freedom in my life, and each setback just became a stepping stone to get me closer to that goal. Looking back now, I see how every failure taught me lessons that I use today. So if you've ever felt like giving up, remember that persistence pays off. Follow along, and I'll show you the things I learned through the tough times. In 2015, one night changed everything for me. I'd been working 72-hour weeks, and this night, like many others, I came home late. As I stepped inside, the house was silent. My kids were already asleep. Their rooms were dark, and I stood there for a moment, realizing how much I'd missed. I was working so hard to provide for them, but the irony was clear. I was missing out on their lives. Right then, a thought hit me hard. If I keep going like this, I'll miss their childhood. That realization felt like a punch in the gut. I asked myself, is this really the life I want for us? I knew I needed a change, something that would allow me to be present for my family without sacrificing my ability to provide. That's when I started exploring online business. The journey wasn't easy. There were a lot of challenges, failed attempts, and tough lessons, but I kept going, driven by the vision of being there for my family. Every setback was another step forward, and I learned to see each failure as a stepping stone, rather than a barrier. Today I get to be here for my kids, to watch them grow and share in their lives in ways I couldn't before. If you're feeling trapped by work or that life is passing you by, know that change is possible. Stick around, and I'll share how I found my path, a way to be present with those I love most while building a better future. We've all got two choices in life. We can decide to make a change ourselves, or wait until God steps in and creates a situation that forces us to change. Back in 2015, I made the choice to change on my own. I looked at my financial situation and realized I wasn't where I wanted to be. I was working hard to provide, but I knew there had to be a better way. Fast forward to 2024, and I see exactly why I was meant to take that leap years ago. When my grandparents were facing the reality of moving into a retirement home they didn't want to go to, I was able to step in, keep them at home, and pay for live-in nurses to care for them. Then, family members hit hard times, and I could be there to help. People in my church were on the verge of losing their jobs, and I could use what I'd built to support them, and in my community, where homelessness has been growing, I've been able to make a real impact. It's not just about the money I've earned, it's about what I can do with it. That's what gives me purpose. When you can lift others up even when they can't help themselves, that's a life that means something. So here's the thing, you have a choice too. You can wait until life forces you into change, or you can make that decision now. Don't wait to learn the skills you need. Don't wait to build a life where you have the freedom to help others when they need it most.